Matt Walsh is currently on his tour from his new movie about Am I Racist? I think it's called. Wow, I don't even know the name. I'm going to start off this video and not even do my research on it. I think it's Am I Racist? You know, the new racism movie that Matt Walsh just put out. Yeah, you know the thing. Anyways, so he's doing a media tour, of course, and he's on these woke libs show, and they start debating systemic racism. Obviously, Matt Walsh destroys them, except he doesn't get like fiery. He's not like a heated guy, but he destroys them with just like a silent confidence. I don't know. You'll see. You know, Matt Walsh, dry humor guy. I'm rambling. The bitch rambles. Anyways, make sure you like today's video, subscribe to my channel. I post 2 new videos every single day, and comment, and let's get into it.
Because that's what it does.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So does that go both ways?
No, because the intent of this, my point is that the intent, whatever you intend a system to do is meaningless. Like if you intend for a house to have a roof and a second floor that is sturdy, but when you walk into the second floor, you fall through it.
But that
and
doesn't
the roof
reflect
collapses on you.
But that doesn't reflect on your anti-roof sentiments.
Yeah, and
What did she just say? Anti-roof sentiment? Can I say that word? No. Anti-roof sentiment? Like, what is that? Like, I don't know. Like, these woke people, they come up with the most random, weird terms that I would never think of. It's like they have way too much time on their hands to contemplate and create these new woke phrases. Am I right or am I right?
and also
It doesn't matter.
And
Like,
also,
you built a
but to
crappy
use
house.
your analogy, if you walk into a house and there's a problem in the house, you can't automatically assume that it's the fault of whoever built the house. It could be, depending on the problem. But you also have to look at who's living in the house, who's supposed to be maintaining the house. And if you're living in a house and you're not taking care of it, and in fact you're mistreating the house and it goes to hell, and then you turn around and blame whoever built the house 100 years ago, well, I'm going to say, like, well, this is at some point you got to take responsibility for your own house. And so that's my point.
That's a very good point. You should handle the things that you have with care. You should not keep your car trashed. Don't keep your house trashed. Be responsible over your belongings in your house.
With the black community as
Yeah, I mean, basically he's saying the black community doesn't want to take responsibility for what's going on in their own community. Listen, I am just speaking the truth here, okay? Don't hate the messenger, hate the message, like hate the people, whatever. Hate no one.
stands right now in America. Yeah.
Or I know this video has nothing to do with Adam Sosnick for PBD, but if you're going to hate someone, hate him. Or maybe David Pakman, or maybe Chunk. I don't know. Those are just the common people that we, my audience, us, this little group here, we love to hate on them. So hate on them. We love to do that here, okay? Kind of haters here, but it's fun. We laugh. It's fun. It's comical.
Yes, as we've already established, there was actual systemic racism against the black community for a long time. It's a terrible, evil thing. Everybody agrees on that point. I don't think anyone disagrees. That is over now. There is no longer a system in place that is designed to deprive black Americans of rights. I mean, would you agree with that at least?
No, I do think it's still designed that way, but it's designed in a way where it can't be litigated because it's not in the law.
Okay, but so can you point to me an exact point of the system, an exact place in the system, a policy that is designed to deprive black Americans of rights?
The same people that designed the system to protect the wealth of the upper class, in the 40s, throughout American history, like continued to be in control.
Yeah, but now you're talking about class, not race. I'm talking about race.
Right, but how do you disrupt class if you're so segregated by, how do you disrupt race if you're so segregated by class?
Well, but I don't think you can bring class into this, because I would agree that we could talk about class. I'll agree that there are elites who care about themselves and don't care about the lower class. I would say that those people are just as unconcerned with a white person in a trailer park in Appalachia as they are unconcerned with a black person in the inner city. Mm-hmm. So it is class. We could talk about that. But my question was, because we talk about the system, it's a broad concept here. So let's narrow it down. Let's find a piece of the system that we can point to and say, well, this is this is designed to hurt black people.
Okay, so if you go to Georgia, for instance, after they implemented school desegregation, what they started doing is saying, oh, okay, well, we can't legally keep black people out of our neighborhoods or out of our schools, but what we can do is we can secede from our neighborhoods. I mean, you've been to the Atlanta suburbs?
A little bit.
Like every four,
Unfortunately.
like every four,
Try to stay away.
Yeah.
like every 4 blocks.
I'm just going to say this. Can any of them talk with any charisma or any fire? I mean, gosh, I'm like trying not to fall asleep. Like the substance is there. It's a good debate, but it's just like our brains today are just brain rot. Thank you TikTok and all these things just for frying my brain. Thank you. Let me know in the comments. Am I the only one that's watching this? Like, come on, add some personality. You guys are supposed to be personalities here. I don't always talk like this my day-to-day life, guys. I don't, okay? I mean, I do. Like, this is definitely me, but I'm not as, like, yelling and fiery all the time. I'm actually pretty quiet and, I'm very introverted. But I know that I'm recording a show, right? So it's entertainment. So can they just have some entertaining qualities, please? Please.
For a long time, you had like new school districts, and they would be drawn. They would be just basically gerrymandered. Like they would know where the white people were, and they would gerrymander the school district so that only white people would be a part of this.
Yeah, but you're going back to desegregation.
No. This is what they're doing now. Like this is up to today. Like so, what they're doing is they're saying, okay, these are the new laws in place. However, we like our system of segregation and racism that we have here. So how do we hire the best lawyers
Is that about class? Or
to show that, but it's also about race?
Well, but I'm saying, do you think primarily in the minds of the designers of the system, are they actually discriminating intentionally on a class basis?
Or is it pretty race driven?
I don't think that there's any evidence that it's race driven. I think in like an example you give, it's class, it's people wanting to avoid crime-ridden, impoverished areas. Maybe someone doesn't want to send their kids to school in a place that's high crime, and there's going to be a lot of delinquency and everything in the school system. I don't think it's because the kids are black. It's just because of that. And also, the other thing is when we talk about.
But at what point?
Hold on a second. When we talk about.
Yeah. Hold on, dude. Hold on. Let him speak.
School districts or the way communities are set up. Here's another point that rarely comes up. It's pretty simple. You can move, right? So you can always move. I mean, if you live in a community where you're claiming it's been set up
That's such a good point from Matt Walsh. It's like you're not stuck there. You can move, you can get better, you can leave.
Systemically to disadvantage it. I don't buy that, but if I did, I would say, well, you should probably move from that community. I mean, you can go somewhere else. There's no law saying you can't. And if there was a law saying...
Some HOA situations will try to block.
Yeah, but they're not going to say you can't move here if you're black.
It's also why a lot of black community groups...
Yeah, you legally can't do that. Like, even if you're a real estate agent, you can't even tell people, hey, this community has less black people. Like, you literally can't say these things. It's not legal. So they're living in la la land. They're not even accurate. Like, they have no idea what they're talking about. This is classic woke libs, though, guys. That's why they're so easily destroyed, because they have no freaking idea what they're talking about ever. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Why did I wink? What?